She sat like that until her consciousness began to slip away. It wasn't fatigue. It was something like a protective shutdown. The brain used up all the reserves of anxiety and temporarily fogged up. When she woke up at dawn, the world was discouragingly ordinary. The light seeped into the crack under the door. In the kitchen, a black cup remained on the table, and in the garden a bird was singing something diligently. The bell didn't sound anymore. Her body was still shaking, but the cold of the morning air helped her recover a little. She went to the door and looked through the peephole again. The figure on the other end was still standing there. At first, Lisa experienced a huge, strange hope. Maybe he is still safe and sound. But when she reached for the handle, licking her lips to drown out the fear, a scream got stuck in her throat. The head of the standing man was pressed against the door at the level of the eyes, but it was not just a head. It was her father's severed head, pinned to the door with a large, rusty nail. The pupils were wide open, and the mouth froze in an unnatural grimace. His hair was in a mess. Dark spots were visible on his neck. Bloody marks, which, however, seemed to be already dry. The air round suddenly squeezed. Lisa felt something inside her breaking from horror and terrible loss, not only from physical, but also from symbolic meaning. Her support was destroyed. She instinctively jumped back. Hot tears crawled down her face. The voice broke out into an inept, fragile cry. "Dad!" But this word immediately trampled without an answer. Someone put a note on the door frame, next to a rusty nail. The hand, not remembering the hardness, grabbed the piece of paper. There were only 2 words written in restrained, decisive letters on it. "Smart girl." The first few seconds were perceived as unreality. She held a piece of paper, like some object from someone else's dream. Then everything came. Adrenaline, cold, pain, heart-hearted thoughts about the departed mother, about those evenings at the radio, about the promises that my father made and did not have time to fulfill. She fell on a chair. The walls seemed to tilt. The objects in the room became too close, as if the whole world suddenly narrowed to this one cruel sign. She tried to listen to the sounds of the street, hoping to hear someone's footsteps, the ringing of running help. But the sounds seemed cut off, as if a thin curtain separated her from reality. The phone was still silent. She remembered her father's words in the morning. "Don't open it to anyone." And strangely enough, there was an echo of self-gratitude in this horror. The rule worked. If it weren't for this inner feeling, alive and intuitive, she could open up, and something even more terrible could happen in the house.